you got it, because you're here this morning to let go of those chains. The things that keep you feeling like you're limited, you're not enough. Are you ready? Yes. You know, we live in this evolutionary universe, so it's one step at a time. And you know what a miracle is? A miracle is the next best thing. So we're miracle makers because as these evolutionary beings that are on the spiritual path, we're always striving to be our next best thing, right? So today we're going to talk about prosperity. And prosperity comes from, I'm not Latin, so if I mess it up, please forgive me. But it comes from the Latin word prosperare, something like that. And it means, prosperity or to prosper means to succeed and thrive. Goes right along with what Marianne was saying. It means to succeed and thrive. And that's what we are designed to do in this human experience, to succeed and to thrive. Prosperity has a huge spiritual undergirding because everything starts in spirit. There's not spiritual things and material things. There are spiritual things that manifest. Yet how many of you think of prosperity as economic and financial wealth? Come on. Yeah, that's kind of what we do here on this physical plane. We think about it as money. How many of you like money? Everybody's hand better go up because money is an exchange of energy. It's a wonderful thing. We get out of balance sometimes, and we get very emotional about money. And there's even a lot of songs about money. Don't you think? Do you have any on the tip of your fingers and the tip of your mind? I thought they might. Let's see what they have to say.
Money, 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 it must be funny in a rich man's world. Money, 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 always sunny in a rich man's world. Money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world go round. Money makes the world go round, of that we can be sure. Money, 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 money makes the world go round. Hey, big spenders, spend a lot of cash right here. Wonderful arrangements. Thank you, Kirk.
I just thought we'd just shake up a little emotion here because money can be such a funny subject because it's about getting the balance that we're deserving, right? That we matter. But some of us get stuck in that poverty as a virtue thing and we get all mixed up. And if we just can put it in the right perspective. So I just want you in this moment to celebrate all the prosperity you have and all that is yet to come. And then I'm going to give you a blessing. All right? Are you ready for me? I mean, am I ready for you? I don't know. But let's bless everything we have and celebrate. And I'm going to give you it's actually a traditional Jewish religious blessing from 3,000 years ago. And it's an abbreviation on it, a little bit modified. Live long and prosper. You might have known that from the 1960 TV show Star Trek. It came from the Vulcans, from Leonard Nimoy, the creator, got it from the original, the hand and the verbiage from the original Jewish blessing. But he gave it to the Vulcans, who were extraterrestrial humanoid beings that lived from that consciousness of logic and reason. They didn't like emotionalism so much, and they couldn't really get humans and all their flip-floppiness. But they knew the truth, that we are here to live long and prosper. Could I at least get a little appreciation for my fingers? I think that's pretty good. I didn't even know I could do that. Yeah, so we're going to give that to each other on the way. Don't worry, I'm going to let you try it too. I'm not just doing it myself. We'll do it later. I'll tell you. So, where am I going? I don't even know right now. Okay. So, what do we do when we think about money a lot? When we put it in the material sense, we worry. If we have a lot, we worry we're going to lose it. And if we have a lack, we worry we're not going to get it. Am I right? Yes. And if you have a good balance, then congratulations, you're one of the few. But it's something we need to get a hold of, because when we worry, what happens? What do you do when you worry? We start getting fearful. We start doubting ourselves. We start doubting each other. We start doubting life. We start doubting, and you know what happens in that consciousness of fear and worry? I said this a few months ago, and there was a big moan from you guys, so I'm going to say it again because I thought that moan was really cute. I said, worry is just praying for what you don't want. You know, just, come on, can I just get a moan? Oh, because we all do it. We pray for what we don't want instead of uplifting ourselves consciously to what we do want, what we really want. So worry, fear, doubt keeps us in those chains that bind us to a smaller version of ourselves. Now, Jesus was really a prosperity teacher. He taught about ask and you shall be given. Knock and the door will be open. Ask and I forget. Seek and you shall find. Close. But he taught that it's all there for us. God gives abundantly. We are always provided for. Always. He didn't say sometimes, but he said it rains on the just and unjust alike. The sun shines on everyone. So this prosperity, this abundant universe continually gives to us. And I love this passage where Jesus said, I tell you, do not worry about your life. What you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what you're going to wear. Life is much more than this. I want you to let that sink in. Life is much more than this. Consider the lilies of the field and how they grow. They neither toil or spin. They trust the process. They neither toil nor spin. And I tell you, even Solomon, in all of his glories, was not dressed as fine as these. And O ye of little faith, question, if God dresses the grass of the field, which is here today and put in the oven tomorrow, so gloriously, do you think that God would not do even more for you? That's our role here. We are here to let the worry go and get to the spiritual side of prosperity and realize that we are creators of our experience, that prosperity is our divine right. There are universal laws that are taught, guess what? Universally about abundance. Now, do some of you ever feel a little greedy, that you want more? You're not quite satisfied with what you have? It's okay. Because there is a divine urge in us for more. It's called the law of growth. As I said, we are on an evolutionary path of growth and experience. So there's something in us that wants more. We just need to be sure that our moreness isn't wanting to fill holes in ourselves that we haven't healed, or things that we feel are wrong with us. We want that more to come from a place of wholeness and completeness. So there is this law of growth, the energy that God always provides. Life always provides. It's there for us. That's the law of growth. And there is the law of sufficiency. There's enough for us. Enough for us. There is enough always. The law of sufficiency. It's there. Now, it may mean we need to shift our focus, cleanse the screen of our mind a bit in order to get there. And I want to tell you that one of the things that keeps us from using these laws is not realizing that money is energy, as you spoke of. We think of money as being solid and fixed. It's energy. Prosperity, poverty are energies. Prosperity is the consciousness of an abundance of prosperity. Life is prosperous. There is good everywhere. It's an inherent belief that life is good. Lack is the energy of not enoughness. And it's really the fear that there's only so much good to go around. We need to expand that energy, grow that energy. And Jesus says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else will be added." What we tend to do is go into the if only consciousness. If only I could win the lottery. If only I had a couple more friends, I'd feel important and loved. If only I had a better job. If only. What happens with if only? It comes from the consciousness of not enoughness. And now this may, and I know many of you know this, but this may blow some people's idea of winning the lottery, but do you know 70% of the lottery winners end up unhappy and broke in just a few years? And 65% of them end up in bankruptcy within 15 years. People aren't ready to receive that much all at once. When we're prepared to receive, we receive. So we have to prepare ourselves, be open. Again, Jesus said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven." Be deserving, be open, be available. Now, I think truly what's happened, and that things get way out of proportion sometimes, is people end up hoarding and holding on because of fear. And they forget the very, very, very important law of circulation, the law of giving and receiving. And so they hold on and hoard their blessings, still thinking there's not enough, instead of using it and sharing it and being it and celebrating it and appreciating it. Now, when Jesus said, it is harder for a camel, no, it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than for a rich man to get to heaven. Well, that doesn't make any sense, does it? But I thought about it, and camels have this big hump on their back that's filled with a massive storage of fat, which is what they need to go through months in the desert with no food and no water, right? But people that are abundantly supplied and hold on to their goods, whether it be time, talent, or treasure, that's not the way to live. We have to be sharing who we are and be in that absolute flow of goodness. And that's what I want for us. I want for us to live long and prosper. Takes a minute to get, you'll get to do it, don't worry, it's fun. And then it's frustrating when you can't, I know. But so what are we going to do right now to clean up that consciousness of, number one, Jesus was very specific about not hoarding. And he said, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust can consume them, where thieves break in and steal. But store your treasures in heaven." Remember, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else will be added. In heaven. And when we put our treasures there, when we value what spiritual prosperity is, what would you say spiritual prosperity is?
Love.
Yes! All of that and more. Love, joy, peace, kindness, sharing, caring, all of that and more. When we put our biggest treasure there and celebrate the material good we have here, then our world, our life is in balance. So my request for all of us today is to cleanse our minds and be miracle-minded. Miracles happen every single day. Our lives are miracles. Being right here in this moment is a miracle, a gift. And remember what I said, a miracle maker is about the next best thing. So I heard a story, and it really opened me in a great way. It was about a swim team in Arlington, Texas. And this swim team was terrible. Their goal was to just make it through the race and not get checked off the list, getting disqualified. They were told they couldn't, they just wanted to get through it. And so the coach had a tough time finding people that would just want to get through things. And finally, 4 years ago, a young African-American fellow, Gerald Hodges, joined the team. And, on land, he was a great athlete. He could play soccer and football and basketball. But he couldn't swim. But he joined the team. And he got to a place in that first year where he learned how not to drown. And when he was asked, why are you on this team? These are the words he said. If I can't handle not being good at something, then how can I consider myself a successful person? We focus so much on success having a certain definition. If I can't fail at something, how can I consider myself a successful person? So he stayed on the team. And just this year, when he was a senior, he knew, and the team knew he'd progressed. He'd gotten better. He could stay up. But they didn't know how much. They didn't know how much Gerald had progressed until the regional meet was at the beginning of this year. Now, in the regional meet, swim teams from all over get together, and the top two teams with the top score go to state. So, guess what? His team was still at the bottom until Gerald dove in the water. And his commitment to himself, his commitment to knowing who he was and accepting his goodness and his failures and having this attitude of really working at something. He swam like they never have seen him swim before. And guess what? That swim team got into the state finals. Now, I don't think they probably made it any further than that because the story didn't tell any more than that. But still, that's a great story of the power of the human spirit, and for all of us, a lesson for all of us. If we start not believing in miracles, I want you to think of Gerald. And if we think the easiest way is the best way, I'm going to ask us to think again. You and I are designed to succeed and prosper and live long. So, all right, we get to do it now. Stand up. Because this blessing, live long and prosper, is something we should say to ourselves. Now, if it was a Jewish faith, it would have been, I would have had a prayer shawl over my face. I would have done this. The cantors would be singing in the background. But we're doing the Star Trek version, okay? And this is something, okay, I want you to just do your best. And I just want you to say it to yourself first. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
And now say it to somebody next to you.
Live long
and someone else. Because our blessings are not enough if we hold them in. So here's the test. Here's the test. We're going to start a new conversation in this world.
Yes.
Something new, something different. So we're not just going to say live long and prosper to those people we like our spiritual community. We're going to go put that out into the world for people that are difficult and hard, people in our families that might cause a and, oh, excuse me, I was knocked off my feet on that. Different things in the world, anywhere. We are going to say live long and prosper, because if we are miracle-minded and know that miracles mean the next best thing, we have hope for everybody, not just ourselves, not just people we love, for everybody to become the next best version of themselves, right? Everybody. So let's just think, and I don't know how hard it's going to be, but think of somebody. Okay, just take a nice deep breath, open your hearts and minds. Forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness is the key. And just in your mind's eye, just let your higher self, okay, if your human self isn't quite cooperating, just let your higher self say, live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
I see the best for you, as I see for myself. I choose to use the power of Spirit to be miracle-minded and to create a new conversation in this world. One of love, one of light, one of respect, and one of kindness. Thank you. I needed that. That's the conversation I've been waiting for. Thank you all for being part of this community. Thank you. I bless and love you all. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And so it is.